Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video. Today I want to start this video off by saying Happy New Year's to everyone, hoping everyone the best in 2024. So in this video we're going to be going over the bank. Right at the start of the year, I always think it's a good thing to just check out the bank, see the value of it, and then at the end of the year, I usually make a couple of these throughout the year when the bank increases, but just to see how much progress we can actually make this year, let's hop right into the bank. Alright, so as you can see, we have a 2 billion GP bank value, which is actually kind of crazy, the highest that the bank has ever been, and I'm hoping we can maybe get 500 million plus GP this year. We'll have to go ahead and see about that though. We have 923 out of 940 spaces. We might have to buy more spaces this year as well. I might clear out the bank at some point this year and just kind of make it a little bit more organized, but I kind of have it to where I want it right now. There's a couple things I might want to adjust, but it's pretty good right now. So in the first tab right here, it's kind of the same as it's always been. Besides, the runes have went up quite a bit. As you can see, we have a ton of 100,000 runes. This is probably from the Guardians of the Rift minigame, which I did a decent amount of in about October and November. We played a lot of Guardians of the Rift, which is pretty fun, to be honest. Hopefully this year I get 100,000 natures, laws, maybe even astrals. We'll try and get a lot of the runes up to 100,000, train a bit of rune crafting. Also this year we got the colossal pouch, so we've got 3 more spaces that we can put items into here. I just haven't quite decided what I want to put there yet. Other notable ones, we did get the dragon pickaxe this year, and we are down to 91 million GP. It was at like 100 something, 105 mil, but I've just been using it to top off the kingdom, buying random runes and whatever it might be throughout the game. So we're 91 million cash right now. Got our full graceful set here. I like to keep some of the useful tools for like birdhouse runs, fletching, clue scrolls, and some useful teleports here at the top, as well as my crystal saw. 3,500 marks of grace. We go down the bank a little bit. Now, these teleports we could probably get rid of. Don't really use them too often. I do use the house teleport when I die and I don't have anything to get back to the house with. But other than that, these ones are kind of useless. We got some other currencies here like identified minerals and stardust. We spent most of our stardust this year. We might go back and collect a little bit more because shooting stars is a really good activity now. Very AFK. Some of the other things I keep out are useful sets that I use more often, like the rogue's outfit is very good if I want to train some thieving for a little bit, right? And then also we got the prospector set here. I don't have the prospector top because I can just use the Varrock armor, right? We have some other random stuff that don't really have a place because when the hell do I ever go in the wilderness? But I got these from doing the wilderness bosses at the end of the year. And, you know, some other stuff like unicorn horns. Don't want to really get rid of those, so I don't have a spot for them in the bank at the moment. And we've got a ton of clue scrolls that we can do. Fresh start to the new year. We can tackle a bunch of clues. That's something I really want to delve deep into this year, is clue scrolls. Alright, so my second tab here would be like my skilling / resources tab. We have all of the logs in the game pretty much. Redwoods are down here in kind of the order that you can chop them at anyways, right? We got 6,500 U's, I think, from Giant Mole, some magic logs from other various bosses around the game, a decent amount of random planks that I got from bosses, and I could use them for some post-construction experience. We might need to do the mahogany homes. I haven't filled out the collection log for that yet. Other than that, we got our empty light orbs from 99 crafting, some maple longbows from 99 fletching. Need to get some more feathers. Now, as for the gems, we have a absolute ton of gems. Maybe I'll cut them this year. Don't know, to be honest with you. It's pretty good crafting experience, and I might do some more of the gem mining to collect more red topaz and stuff like that this year. I want to do a lot of the Karamja stuff, so might need a bit of that. Then we have a lot of our ores, which is absolutely insane to just look at. We have 58,000 coal, almost 19k mithril, 9k adamant, 2,000 runite. I'm not even sure, would that be 20 million elks, or maybe my math is just completely wrong right now. A bunch of the other ores as well. 69,000 buckets of sand. We had almost 0, and these buckets of sand are just from the daily Burt. Burt gives you, I don't even know what it is, X amount of buckets a day he sends to the bank. So that's pretty much just from Burt, and a bunch of bars as well. Now, I didn't really know what to do with these bars, but now we've got the Giant's Foundry, which I don't even know. Would this be like 50, 60 million smithing? It's just absolutely insane experience there. And then we have our gold bars from 99 smithing. We did a shit ton of them, and we actually did like, I'm gonna say 3 to 4 million experience at the Giants Foundry, so we could have had a lot more of the gold bars, but thank God I didn't have to buy all of those. Other than that, we've got our cooking supplies down here. We've been doing an absolute ton of fishing and a lot of cooking. So we've got like 127,000 tuna cooked up. We have another 60K to cook up here. We got bass, lobsters, swordfish. I want to get the swordfish to 100,000, then I will stop that. And then we've been fishing and cooking a lot of carambons. Now, during the league's Trailblazer Reloaded, what I did is I caught 500 and whatever it was, 70,000 of the raw carambonjis, and then I spent the rest of the time fishing up some carambons. Not as many as I was hoping to get. I was hoping to get about 50 to 60K during the leagues, but we managed to pretty much get a lifetime supply of the carambonjis. So 38, almost 39K is honestly not too bad. There's still like another week of the league, so maybe we can pump it up to like 50K or something, but I kind of getting burnt out of that game anyways now. And then we got monkfish. This is still from back in the day when I returned to RuneScape 3 and I was AFKing monks. Jesus Christ, we had like 30K or something. I don't know why I didn't do carambons, but yeah, I did monkfish, and we still have 13,000 of those. Sharks we need to get more of, and obviously we need to get more of the angler fish as well. And then all these other manta ray sea turtles are just from boss drops. We've got the coal, or the gem bag, we have the coal tackle box, the fish barrel, and then we got a bunch of jugs. I'd like to get like 100,000 jugs of water this year at some point as well, so that we can cook all the grapes up. We have 5,400 grapes. That's a decent amount of cooking experience banked right there as well. We also have jugs of wine that we've made, and then we also have these Amarok grapes, which I'd like to get a lot more of this year too, because that's some good herblore experience. Now, the next tab here isn't very exciting. It's just a bunch of the seeds that I use. Now, I haven't been farming for about a month and a half, but I'm going to get back into it, so I'm going to be getting rid of these seeds very, very soon. I have a really cool special video planned where I plant every single seed in the game just to see how much farming experience you could get from a harvest. I think that's a very interesting idea. But anyways, this is just random seeds that we use for farming. Birdhouse runs. We got a bunch of saplings in here, birds' nests, an absolute ton of the bird's nest. Just wild to me. If I just go ahead and search my bird's nests, like, yeah, we've got a lot to open up here. And then we were making some ultra compost. We have a decent amount as well of the ultra compost in the compost bucket that you get from Hespori, so don't need to worry about that for a very long time. But if we do, we've got 11,000 potions already made. We have the full farmer's outfit in here, and I was starting to collect magic roots to make the antidote potions. I believe that's what they are for, so we started collecting those. We need some more grape seeds. Yes, we will have to return to the Tithe farm, and a bunch of the seed packs from the farming contracts. Now, next on the list is my Herblore tab. It's probably my most organized until you get to the bottom. A lot of people seem to really like my Herblore tab. So we do the grimy version, the clean, unfinished secondary ingredient, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, and it works out perfectly. And you can do this for every potion, most of them, I guess I should say. So we got Renars here. We basically have another 2K 4-dose potions that we could make, plus we have them here. So we should be good for this year anyways, but we will obviously be planting more Renars. We have an absolute disgusting amount of the Anvitotes too, which that's not going to be fun. Let me tell you right now, that is not going to be fun collecting those secondary ingredients, but that's going to be a lot of Herblore. Also, we have the Harlander potions here, which I believe instead of making the energy, we will be making the compost, just because it's a lot easier to get the secondary ingredients for. Lots of Irates. Like a disgusting amount that we've made. Lots of the strength potions as well. We've really this year been focusing on the limpwort root farming, and as well as whiteberries and potato cactus. So yeah, we really are stacking those secondary ingredients up for some post Herblore experience. And also we've got the snapdragons, which we started to delve into a little bit before I made an absolute ton of the Brayer potions. I don't like using super restores because I'm like, I'm gonna need them one day, but I have a good amount. I really shouldn't have to worry too much about that. And then we have a pretty good amount of Ceridome and Brews as well, because I only use these for raids or like crazy bosses. Other than that, I just use like Karm bonds, right? So I don't really need too many of these, but we've got like a good amount, a couple years worth for me anyways. And then the dwarf weed potions, we did make a decent amount of the wines of Zamorak, so that could be some good Herblore experience right here. We do need to make more ranging. As you can see, this is how I was doing the ranging potion. I'd be like, okay, I've got some 2 doses, we'll mix them together, time to do a boss trip. I don't want to do that. I want to have them already in the bank. And then we have the super combat potions, and this is where the bank gets a little messy, and I'm gonna have to fix it up this year because we just have a random amount of potions. Like, it kind of is a little organized here, but then what the hell's happening here, right? We need to fix it up. We've been making some the extended anti-fires. We got ancient brews from bosses, anti-venoms. I don't know why the hell there's steel arrows in there. They can go away. We don't need steel arrows. But yeah, this is the Herblore tab. Very nice, very beautiful, and it's 333 million GP. Now, the next tab's obviously not very interesting. I put most of my skill capes in the POH, so I only have the ones I typically use. The quest cape to teleport around, achievement diary cape. I do use construction and crafting cape a little bit, depending on which boss that I go to. Then I've got the max cape, and then also the assembler max cape. Don't know why, and I don't know why either. I haven't made a magic version or a melee version of the max cape. I just literally use like a regular magic cape, and then I also just use the fire cape. Should just put the max cape variant on if I have it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a weird thing. Haven't done it yet, and I need to buy another max cape in order to do that. But yeah, this is just the random capes, and then I have the rune crafting cape here because I think the rune crafting cape is beautiful. Next, we have the PVM Slayer drops tab. Now, it's not the most organized ever. I really want to maybe get it cleared out this year, hand in the bones, do a lot of the alchable drops, kind of just clear it up a bit and see exactly what I have in here. But it's really cool to look at. Like, we have 250 plus of the crystal keys, a bunch of dragon items. Like, look at this shit, like all these left shield halves, 41 granite malls, 135k flax, just chilling 3 onyxes right there. 63 Cerex talisman inserts. It's pretty crazy when it comes down to it. When we move down a little bit, we've got some dragon bolts unfinished, a bunch of leather, some Hydra stuff, a bunch of the rings from the Dagonoth Kings. We do need more Zalra scales. That's kind of a little low. Some champion scrolls, some Sandfuse serums, blood essence, random stuff, like all the rings from birdhouses when I open those up. Yeah, just some random garbage in here, you know what I'm saying? Like miscellaneous, or what am I saying? Like all these ashes, miscellaneous items in here, chili potatoes. We got our looting bag in here. Onyx bolt tips E. I don't even know. That's gotta be worth like, yeah, 5 million GP in elks. All the rune. Look at this beautiful stack of rune, man. Each one of these like a 4 million GP elk. We got to spend a lot of time elking. And like, look at these dragon med helms, man. That's got to be worth a good amount too in elks. 4.6 million GP just in elks right there. Yeah, I just haven't been around to elk all this stuff, right? I'm always either bossing or skilling, whatever it might be. Don't have time to elk it. Just dump it right into the tab. And I know whenever I need money, yeah, I've got it. So we got a bunch of these like giant egg sacs here too, which we could open these up to get more of the red spider's eggs. Should probably do that as well. 115,000 of the ancient essence, which really is not that much at all. What is this, like 40k? Oh, I'm just kidding. It's like 1.8 million, but or 800,000 GP. Yeah, it's very, very cheap for all that stuff. And we started making some of the battle staffs just for crafting experience at the bank. And like, you know, like just that's got to be like 3 million GP in elks right there as well. Most of it is alchables, right? Everything else is like a consumable for an Ironman account and you use it, right? But yeah, like look at this, 3,600 battle staffs. Like, insane, right? All this stuff is really cool, very useful for money and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when you already have like almost 100 million GP in cash, there's not much else that you can use the cash for. So eventually I will elk it all. I just need to get around to it. But some of the items are just insane to have so many of, and it's going to be fun to do the 18 Skitizos. That's all like 18 hard clue scrolls right there as well. All these keys, just nuts. Now, next tab I have in the bank is like my scuffed gear tab. I would put it in a way, the gear that I don't use too often really, but we just have kind of for some reason in the bank here. I'll move these rune gloves up here because we don't use this regular Karis Partisan anymore. But this is like the scuffed gear tab, right? We got the helm of Nezinot and the face guard. Now I'm not saying this is scuffed gear, but I don't use it because I only pretty much do Slayer or PVM. If I'm doing a boss and it's not on task, I will use the face guard pretty much. And then we have all of our bolts here, the ones that we use for whatever it's even called, the Phantom Muzpa, right? We got a bunch of different bolts here. 51,000 Mithril, 22,000 Addy, 22k Rune, 3,500 Dragon. We just need a Twisted Bow one day. And all of the other ones here. Notable ones that are really cool is 25,000 Amethyst Darts for the Blowpipe. We got a bunch of the Mythical Capes, Crystal Bow, you know what I'm saying? Like Ivan Staff. The Rune Gloves is for when I go into the wilderness. If I want some gloves, don't want to risk the Barrows gloves. We got a bit of Chinchampas if we ever need those. We don't really need them now. And then we got a bunch of Glories, which we could charge up. But ever since I got the Glory in the house, I don't ever really use Glories too much anymore. And a bunch of the Barrows gear, which does come in handy from time to time, but I'm trying to replace it, if you know what I mean. Like get some bandos so I don't need to use the melee. I want to get Armadillo so I don't really need to use Kirels anymore and stuff like that. The one thing I do use a lot is Arums, but it's in my actual gear tab, right? But yeah, this is kind of like a junk tab or like gear that I don't use. I've got my cannon in here too, which I do use a lot on Slayer tasks now, but we haven't been to Slayer for a while. But yeah, this is this little tab. Now for the tab of all tabs worth 683 million GP is my gear tab. So this is the very special tab to me where it's all the gear that I use for Slayer, PVM, and raids. So we started off with the red Slayer helm imbued. We got the cheese little fire cape here. And then we have all of the Zenite jewelry. So the Ring of Suffering RI. We have the Amulet of Torture, the Necklace of Anguish, and the Tormented Bracelet. We also have some Barrows gloves and Ferocious gloves. So the Barrows gloves are more hybrid. Ferocious are for melee only. Primordial boots, dragon boots. We could actually turn this pair of dragon boots into another set of primordials. Just haven't done that yet. And then dragon boots can be nice too if you take them to the wilderness. So that's kind of why I have them here. We've got the Elite Void set, which I don't use it really at all anymore, really, but it does come in handy from time to time. We have a ranged kind of gear. We've got the scuffed little different type of pieces for ranged gear. We still have the Armadillo D'hide boots because we don't have ranger boots yet, which is kind of annoying. Then we have another version of range gear which we take to the wilderness, but we don't have any black chops because we kept dying in the wilderness. And then we have the magic setup right here, which is the Aram set, right, with the Mage's Book. We have the Trident of the Swamp, and then a rune pouch here, which I have ancient spells in right now for the Phantom Muzpa. And then we have like mystics if I ever do go into the wilderness with magic. Down here we have the Fighter Torso. Don't use that anymore. That did come in very handy though before I got the Bandos Chestplate, Dragon Defender, regular Amulet of Fury, which I still use quite a bit because it's a nice little hybrid necklace. And then we go down a little bit in the bank here. We have all of the God Capes for magic. And then we have some Brimstone Rings, some Abyssal Whips. We've been using a lot of these whips to charge up the Tentacle Whip, but we don't really use whips anymore, so we will stack them up with Slayer. We have the Abyssal Dagger, the Tanzanite Helm, some Occult Necklaces. Ring of Wealth can be handy actually for picking up GP. If you guys don't know, if you wear Ring of Wealth, all the GP dropped on the floor, it'll pick up. So this is good for like tasks like gargoyles. Holy Wrench, we have the Herb Sack, the Bone Crusher, the Master Wand, very nice for ancient spells. The Arclight, we have the Salve Amulet EI, and very nice. We also have the Slayer Staff for Vorkath tasks, and then we've got the Dragon Warhammer, Bandos, the Bandos Godsword, the Bofa, the corrupted version of the Bofa with unlimited charges. We also have the Blade of Salador, full crystal, the Dragon Hunter Lance, the Mazori Body from Raids 3, the Elden's Ward from Raids 3 as well, and then we have the Karis Partisan of the Sun, very useful inside of the raid. I believe I have all the other jewels as well, so if I ever need to switch it up, we have all the other jewels. And then we have the Light Bearer, which is good for special attacks. I haven't found a purpose for it yet because most of my weapons are for like speccing down like defense. I don't have like claws or something. I guess I could use like a DDS, but I just CBA to be honest. And then we've got the good old Osmondton's Fang, probably one of my favorite items in the entire game. Took me 3 months in order to get this. Couple of the cudgels from Sarachnis. We finished off the Abyssal Bludgeon, which is so nice because I don't have to go back to the sire unless I want the pet, and I don't want the pet that much. And then we have the Dragon Crossbow, the Ancient Scepter, and we got the Warp Scepter. This literally took me like 8 hours to get. I just wanted it for a video. We'll never use it again. But yeah, this is the gear tab. Very special to me. Love all the gear that I have. I would like to upgrade a bunch of it this year. It would be cool to say get like Ancestral. It'd be cool to get Armadale. But I don't know. We'll see where the year takes us, to be honest. I'm just kind of enjoying doing Slayer, right? So maybe I'll put some boss tasks, eventually get Armadale, eventually get whatever I want. But yeah, this is the gear tab. I'm glad I got a lot of the stuff done this year, right? Corrupted Gauntlet, like best in slot range gear for me, best in slot melee gear. We could upgrade the magic gear a bit, but it works, you know what I mean? So this is my gear tab. And last but not least, we have the junk tab. So got a bunch of party hats. We have the Iron Man set. We have this little item right here, the Beads of the Dead. One of my favorite items. I thought I would keep it. We got the Camelot, Ghost Speak, the Monkey Speak, the Cat Speak amulet. We'll put those all in a row right here. Some regular salve amulets. The Black Candle, classic item that I still have. Love it a lot. The Bone Sack is a very cool item too. A lot of the Santa hats, Christmas crackers, half jugs of wine, all the holiday event items are right here. And then we have the Gnome Scarf. We did get the Prince Ale Monkey Backpack, kind of a cool item right there. We got some Mulch Pearls. I actually thought those were snowballs. Snowballs are right there. Fish Chunks for whenever I go back to that method. We have all the Chompy Bows for if I ever want to get more KC there, which I probably never will do because fuck that activity. And then just some random junk like nails, anti-dragon shield, stuff that like I probably easily could get rid of. Like, why do I need a Law Tiara or a Wrath Tiara? I have 99 in rune crafting. I don't know why I haven't gotten rid of it yet, to be honest. We have the Clan Cape, interesting, Zombie Head, a bunch of just junk, right? That you never really use, don't really have a spot for. I got my Fossil Dung from my very first raid. Just a bunch of stuff in here, don't really have a spot for it. A lot of this stuff was from questing, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. We got some Abyssal Pearls in here. Yeah, the other two jewels right here as well, like I was saying. We got the Crystal Grail. Don't know why the hell we did that. Black Pickaxe, random stuff from Clue Scrolls, junk really in this tab. But yeah, that is the bank. We have 2 billion GP worth of value, and I'm really hoping it skyrockets this year. Now, I might show my full house in detail, like all my clue scrolls and stuff like that in another video if you guys are interested, but I thought I'd quickly show you guys the pets that I have. We got the Pet Smoke Devil, the Kraken, Zalra, the Chompy Chick, the Venenotus Spider, the Giant Squirrel, the Guardian Rift, the Young Lift, Small Kano, and I have a Hellcat in here for the hell of it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much all the pets I have. I would like to get a lot more pets this year, if I can anyways. You know, you can't really say I'm gonna get a pet. It's more of a luck-based thing. But if you guys really like the video, I can show you guys like every little item that I do have in the POH. But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. Let's take a quick look at all of the skills we got. We'll just go through them. You guys can look at them. All the experience that we have in different types of skills. That's pretty good. Like notable ones, almost 40 million range, 20 mil magic. I'll just go over the notable ones here. 17 mil Slayer is pretty good as well. Just going up a little bit. 35 mil HP. We got 20 mil fishing, 62 mil cooking, and 20 mil farming. We've got a total of 459 million experience on the account. And we will also quickly look at the kind of stats for the account. So we have right now, as of right now, have all the quests complete, 158 out of 158. All the achievement diaries complete, 492 out of 492. And this is the embarrassing part. We have 122 out of the 485 combat achievements and 413 out of the 1488 collection log slots. Yes, so that is kind of where I want to kind of pick it up this year, do a lot more collection log slot items and stuff like like that, and go for as many pets and experience and try and just enjoy the game as much as possible this year. I'm really excited for the new skill. We've been maxed for over a year now, a year 2 months. So it's going to be very exciting to get a new skill, to train from like level 1 to 99 again, and just kind of, you know, get the max cape again. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like I said, have a happy new year, and I hope this year brings you everything you want, all your in real life goals, all your RuneScape goals. Just pump it out this year, have the best year you possibly can, and yeah, I will try and upload as much as I can. But thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya later.